First tonight, Texas businesses can no longer require customers to provide proof that they've been vaccinated against COVID-19. Governor Greg Abbott signed the measure into law today. It also bans vaccine passports. KXAN's Tahir Rahman explains what it means for workers.
Texas is open 100%.
The governor says that means Texans should be able to go where they want without limits.
No business or government entity can require a person to provide a vaccine passport or any other vaccine information as a condition of receiving any service or entering any place.
Vijay Patel wanted to see support for those who do want to require that proof.
If there's a law out there that helps us get that done without having us take all the burden and risk and enforcement, that would truly help.
Patel owns and manages several Austin hotels. He says it's been hard balancing CDC guidance, which includes COVID shots, and state rules, which now ban proof of those shots.
We have to be very, very cautious of what we enforce and what we don't enforce.
Businesses that violate the new law become ineligible for state grants or contracts and could be denied licenses or permits. But the new law doesn't mention what employers can mandate for their workers. The exception is something the Texas Medical Association agrees with.
There's really no way to effectively ensure our patients' safety without vaccination of our healthcare provider.
But Dr. John Carlo still has concerns about the law's greater impact.
We know there's still a risk in our community. We don't have all the answers about what is right and wrong for everyone, but I do wish we had more flexibility.
Tahir Rahman, KXAN News.
We took a closer look at the text of this new law. It does not give the responsibility of enforcement to any particular agency. It says each appropriate state agency should ensure that businesses comply with the new rules. Businesses can still require COVID-19 screening and other infection control protocols. Some cruise lines have announced they will be requiring passengers to show proof of their COVID-19 vaccine before they're even allowed on board the ships. Carnival Cruises is one of those companies. They have scheduled now to start sailing from Galveston again on July 3rd. Carnival Cruises says it's evaluating the governor's new law. In a statement, Carnival says the law provides exceptions for when a business is implementing COVID-19 protocols, all in accordance with federal laws. Right now, the Carnival's website says guests must have received their final dose of a COVID vaccine at least 14 days before the start of their cruise. They must also show proof of that. Royal Caribbean International has backtracked on requiring travelers to be vaccinated after a new Florida law. The cruise line announced that policy change on Friday. The Florida law states that businesses could be fined $5,000 for each customer required to show proof of vaccination. Royal Caribbean now says it will require passengers to be tested for COVID-19 and follow other protocols. Vaccinations, though, are strongly recommended. Other states have provided incentives in hopes of getting more people vaccinated. Today, the governor was asked whether or not he would consider doing something similar.
We do encourage people to get vaccines. As it comes to using something like what you have seen in some other states, like a lottery for vaccines or some type of monetary inducement or anything like that, we don't believe in using monetary inducements in the state of Texas.
As of tonight, 44% of Texans are fully vaccinated. Another 10% have had their first dose. A new CDC study finds the Moderna and Pfizer COVID-19 vaccines reduce the risk of infection by over 90% in fully vaccinated people. Researchers studied nearly 4,000 people who got either vaccine. They found that their risk of infection was reduced by 91% 2 weeks after their second dose. For those who were partially vaccinated, the risk of infection was reduced by 81%. And for those who still got COVID-19, they spent an average of 6 fewer days sick and 2 fewer days in bed. They were also 60% less likely to develop symptoms when compared to those who were not vaccinated.